Bro, I saw that, what was it? Somebody gonna make a video about this. I was gonna look at this. The insurance companies don't tell you. Yeah, speaking of Luigi. Oh, God. Really? All right, let's watch it. Insurance companies aren't telling you? This video came out recently. Very convenient timing.
A high-level character in the company was bragging about, regardless of whether America stays a democracy or not, the insurance companies, specifically theirs, had a plan to continue to extract money from people.
Yeah.
They're like a parasite that spreads.
Yeah, I think insurance companies are parasites as well. I don't think they need to exist. They're basically a, like, I think that insurance companies are probably the main reason why we don't have single-payer healthcare. Because, like, it's in their best interest for that not to happen. There's a lot of money. All insurance is a scam. It's hard to say about that, but I'd say with health insurance, it definitely is.
That can't quit.
It's a middleman parasite? Yeah, it is.
The top brass was making absolute moolah.
Yeah.
They would want for nothing.
Yep.
Their great-grandchildren would want for nothing,
Yep.
even if they quit tomorrow.
Big money.
And the eye was on always expanding the company.
Yep.
There's no such thing as having enough. Even in a drastic scenario where for some reason our country just completely crumples in on itself, they're still going to be going after you.
Yep.
I worked for one of America's largest subrogation law firms. When your insurance covers a cost for you, they can make somebody else responsible for repaying that amount.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, that's literally that's the business model. Yeah, obviously.
This is where insurance subrogation comes in. My job was to call people and harass them for money.
I probably had this guy call me.
At best and harass you at worst.
Yeah.
Many times I sat at my desk thinking, I am literally just a debt collector.
Yeah.
Collectors were treating the people that they were calling
as criminals.
Something to extract from, not seeing them as other humans.
And so what you have to do when they do that is you have to do the same thing. Like, so basically, like we would get calls a lot from people trying to get money, especially from my mom. And we would have a lot of different strategies of how we would deal with them. But every strategy had one common variable, which was we would never pay them. And so, like, sometimes we would call, and they would call, and I would tell them that my name was Count Chocula. Other times, I would tell them, I'll be right back, I'm going to get you my credit card, and then I would just leave the phone on. And then other times, I would tell them that if they call back tomorrow on another phone, that I would give them the money, and then I never would. And I would basically just string them along and harass them as much as I possibly could. Because a lot of the third-party debt collection companies, this is what I learned, is that a lot of them, when a company sells your debt, they also sell a certain level of liability that you no longer have. So, like, there are certain tools that, like, a company can exercise over you if they're the prime holder of the debt versus if the debt was sold to a secondary company. So, like, as soon as we would get a call from, like, you know, like, fucking, you know, Davis Credit, we would know that we're good. We're good. Wow, we got away with, we got him, bro. It's like, that's like a free $480, right? Doesn't that affect your credit, though? No, it does, but then you have to get different cards, and then you pay off the cards with other cards. Because, like, so this is what my mom would do. So she'd have like 5 credit cards, right? And so she would pay off one credit card with another credit card, and that way she can just keep them on the hook. And like, I mean, as I said, like, she was racking up. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, I had a brand new computer.
So a lot of abuse, verbal abuse, of course, not having any kind of empathy for anybody's lifestyles or situations.
Never try to make them feel sorry for you. They don't care. They'll never care.
We had a system of notes that would show discussed with the claimant previously. So there was this lady that had a lot of notes in it, like, she's lying, she keeps giving a sob story. I spoke with this lady and was giving her the general spiel.
Right.
And she cut me off and she said, I don't know why you guys keep calling me. I'm telling you, I'm on hospice. I'm dying. Like, I am in my sister's living room, in a medical bed. I am dying. Her sister got on and just, you know, screaming, like, just please
Yeah, and
leave
they
her.
could have been lying. The girl and her sister could have been lying. It's because, like, you have to think about, you have to role reversal this. They're the predator. You become the predator. You prey on them. Think about what they want and then use that against them.
I didn't know what to do with myself, because what do you say to somebody like that?
Yeah.
It was probably one of the lowest points of my life.
Yeah, you get fucked, a deck get aggregated? No, you can't, because then what they do, so what they'll do after that is this is how they try to fuck you, right? Is they'll try to write that debt off as profit to you, income to you, to the IRS. That's the one thing that they can do that can kind of fuck you. But then you can save the money and then just pay that off.
I would see frequently people were bringing in like $30,000 a week.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of people working for this company. There was a lady that worked there for 16 years.
I mean, you can't get mad at the debt collectors, though, right? I mean, I can't get mad at them. It's just, it's a matter of, it's like I was saying, right? Like, a lion isn't evil because it kills a gazelle, and a gazelle isn't evil because it runs away and it makes the lion starve to death. It's just nature, right? And so, like, if they're not wrong, it's just that at the end of the day, like, either you're going to come out ahead or they will, and it's better that you do than them.
Thousands, tens of thousands of dollars were being brought in just by this one woman. We are incentivized to take the most amount of money from these people as possible without letting them know. We had full reign on adjusting what they would actually have to pay.
Yeah, this is another thing, is that it's the Sam Hyde technique, right? Ah, geez, dude. Can you do $6? Yeah, I got, geez, I can give you $6 right now. You know what? Yeah, no, that's the thing. And it works. There's personal responsibility for taking out the loans. There's a separate issue of companies and banks letting these people take the loans in the first place. I mean, you should never live your life according to the way that you think the world should be. And I think that you can, if you can afford it, right? Like, I view morals as a luxury. I think that if you want to be moral and you want to do things the right way, that's fine. But, like, a lot of people can't afford that. And so, like, what I'm saying is that if you can't afford that, there's a lot of ways that you can take advantage of this. And, like, what they're saying is actually true, because a lot of times companies write off debt in their taxes. They write it off as, like, a loss. It's like, look, I mean, how the fuck do you think people like Donald Trump get away with not paying taxes? It's carryover loss. This isn't the exact same thing, but there's a million rules like this.
If they settled, we're paid on commission through a fee structure. So if they are making good faith payments, say $250 every 2 weeks or $250 a month, we would get 15 to 20% of that as a fee.
Yeah, of course.
If we were to settle a lower amount for them, we would get less in fees, and fees are what our commission is based on.
Right.
The system was set up that if we showed any kind of humanity to these people, we were screwing ourselves over, and I can't tell you how many times I got in trouble for just trying to be a decent person.
Yeah, that you can't do that. That's a mistake.
We are supposed to be doing this by the book. A lot of these cases, when people don't exchange their insurances at the time of the wreck because they're like, oh, it's fine, there's like barely a dent, my insurance will cover it. Later, when the insurance company hunts them down because they don't know that that person has insurance, that's why we're supposed to be getting their insurance. Like, that's the first thing we're supposed to check for with each call, because they might have insurance and not be on the hook for any of this. So a colleague saw me in the middle of a call, told me to pause the call, asked me what I was doing there, said I was not there for customer service. He pointed out the fact that I am poor. And he said, if I were you, I would focus on winning and not on making sure that these people have insurance or not.
And that's the thing, is that like insurance companies, their goal was to make money. Their goal was not to help the consumer, the user. Like that's, now ideally that's how they make money. And the convergence is that the insurance company makes money by helping somebody. But don't ever forget which one is number one and the other one is number two. Making money is always more important than helping the customer.
You need to get money.
Yeah.
You don't need to get their insurance. That was a part of the job description, things people trained on. If they had insurance, we were supposed to collect the data on that. And when the people that have that responsibility to do their work correctly are in it just for the greed and are completely skipping out on certain steps, lives are needlessly ruined.
Oh, of course.
We would call you sometimes multiple times a week until we got the money.
Yep.
Just completely would not stop.
Just block the phone number. Because like, so, and this is the way, this is the meta game, right? Is that you look at it from this person's perspective. So in order to make a person stop doing something, you have to figure out why they're doing it. So if the person is calling you in order to get money out of you because they get money when you give them money, then what you have to do is you have to waste as much as their time as possible. Because then this person is going to itemize their time and they're going to say, this person wasted 35 minutes of my time. I'm not going to call them 3 times a week because that's an hour and a half and I'm getting $0 for it. So that's how you keep them on the hook as long as possible. And that's how you make them stop calling you, is you waste their time. You have to waste their time. That's the technique. This is kind of how those anti-scammer guys work. Yeah, you have to waste their time because that's when they realize they're losing money.
I experienced one with a lady. It was a flood damage in the apartment downstairs. And the lady actually did have proof that it wasn't even her fault, but we were still pursuing her.
Right.
And I tried to send it back to where we double check things. And they're like, no, she's guilty. And I'm like, no, look at the paperwork. She has clear proof that it was.
It doesn't matter whether she's guilty or not because it was sold to a third-party debt collector. So they no longer have an arbitration of whether it's at fault or not.
Actually, the apartment about her. And we were still calling that lady. You really can't hide. We used a program to pull up dossiers on people. So if you had the lack of luck for having the same phone number as the claimant used to have, if you worked with them, ex-spouses, we might call you.
Yeah, they did this with my dad.
Away until we find the claimant.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers called up a wife of a man that was a truck driver. He owed roughly $55,000, and
that's Count Chocula. Okay, that's not me. Yes, the wrong number.
This lady was completely blindsided about this. She didn't even know he had been in a wreck.
Yeah.
As she is becoming more and more panicked, the reality of the situation settling in, he's becoming more and more chipper. And he actually turned around and high-fived me once, like, she started to cry.
Yeah, because you know you got him on the hook at that point, right? Yeah, exactly.
Some of the techniques I witnessed people using to harass the claimant.
That's like $5,000. You get 10%.
One person was very misogynistic towards women, would talk down to them, call them baby girl. Another
smart,
person would spend his mornings conversing about different ways to lie. They would find loopholes in, say, this person might live in a state that they can't have their driver's license taken from them, but we could still threaten that maybe because maybe the state might change their mind one day and make it legal. It was quite blatantly a lie. And we were encouraged to tell that lie. One of the tactics we were supposed to use on people that said, I don't have any money, tell them, hey, do you smoke? Quit smoking. Different thing.
Debt collector? Fucking based. Yeah, I'm sorry, but is this supposed to be bad?
That we're supposed to use as examples of things that they should quit in their own life so they can pay us money.
I mean, I gotta agree with that one.
To tell them, take out some credit cards, high interest loans, you know, that's a cycle.
Exactly.
Once you start borrowing from one high interest thing to pay another thing like that, like you're in a bad way. It's an endless loop of misery.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not if you know how to get out of it.
This experience was harrowing, just a cold splash of water in regards to what I thought our society was capable of.
This person's such a pussy. You can't sign up to be a lion, then cry that you have to kill gazelles. That's your job. What are you doing this for?
You would hear people screaming at people on the phone, and then go to lunch and have a coffee and just happily talk about something they did on the weekend.
Yeah, of course.
We were completely incentivized towards greed. Things like this are one of the big reasons why people hate insurance companies. This company has absolutely ruined people's lives. 100% completely undeniable.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
And when I think back to that lady who was dying,
I think that this person is incredibly naive to believe that that lady was telling her the truth. How do you know that she wasn't how did you know that she was telling you the truth? Because she could have just been lying to you too.
She didn't deserve this.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves something like this.
And CEOs are okay with you? These aren't CEOs. Just average people are okay with you. Well, everybody always likes to get into this fucking high horse about, oh, it's CEOs, they're the bad ones. Nah, bro. You have these individual executioners that are going and trying to fucking make these dying women with cancer, theoretically, give away their last pennies instead of paying for chemotherapy. This isn't a CEO. This isn't some fucking executive in a mansion. This is some person who's trying to get by. That's it. It's all allegedly. So this whole idea of like this like moral, the people at the top are bad and the people that are in the middle are not. No, everybody's bad all the way through. They're all bad. And you don't need to be a CEO to be exploitative. You don't need to. It's just business. Exactly. And so people are going to do what benefits them. This is an American mindset. I don't think everyone thinks like this. No, no. I think they do, actually. I think that the only time that people don't think like this is when they don't have to. I think morality is a luxury that many people cannot afford. And I think that's the reason, like, a lot of these people who are these debt collectors, do you think that they're rich? Fuck no, they're not rich. They're probably just as fucked up as the people they're calling. But it's basically, you have them killing each other, right? Is that people are weak as fuck, exactly. And so that's really the way it works.